Everybody can see clear. Make some noise one time for our guests. Also make some noise one time for yourself for being here tonight. Awesome. All right, Dev.
All right, guys, and once again, I appreciate everybody for coming out here. If y'all didn't know, my name is Devin Childs, aka Childsplaynogamez, okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm a cool ass rap dude from Paris, Texas, in case y'all didn't know. Fun fact.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, country as hell as can be. Anyway, so CEO is the brand, guys, and we're just really happy that everyone came out tonight. So I'd like to welcome y'all to joining. You know, Crown Etiquette, we founded this with a mission to elevate not just music, but also the art community as well, too. You know what I mean? Everything from music to actual, like, when I say the arts, I mean things like dance, whether it's like paint. It's all the arts, you know what I mean? So a lot of people, they get lost in like, okay, maybe I can only do one thing, maybe I can only do this, but it's like, at the end of the day, we're all artists, and you can find how to paint in every avenue, you know what I'm saying? Whether you're talking rap, or we're talking painting, or we're talking dance, find yourself through the art, you know what I mean? So that's what Crown Etiquette is about, you know? So the reason we chose the name Crown Etiquette was because we believe in excellence and elegance should be the crown we wear every single day. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So it represents an contentment to holding ourselves to a higher standard and to respect and to empower each other. And see all these people in the room, we're all empowering each other. That's a whole thing. Okay, so our brand is not just for events and opportunities, it's about creating spaces where everyone, artists, entrepreneurs, and professionals can feel uplifted and supported and become the very best version of themselves, of course. Our purpose today is not just to share knowledge and insight, but to foster a spirit of collaboration that will ripple through an entire community. We're here to encourage everyone to pursue their craft with integrity, to uplift each other, to redefine what it means to be a part of the Dallas music scene and art scene. Together, let's set a new standard of sophisticated drive, mutual support that will make our city a true powerhouse in the creative world. Thank you all again for coming. I appreciate y'all as the CEO Brand Overview.
This special event that's hosted by Crown Etiquette Organization, we're thrilled to have each and every one of you as we bring together some of Dallas' most inspiring voices in the music, radio, and music scene licensing amongst the impact of the rest of you. Our theme today is centered around the past, present, and future of music industry. Not only looking at what success means, but also looking at how we can push technology, mental health, and community challenges that are shaping the journey of today's artists and professionals. We're very grateful to have a powerhouse panel of legends who share their insights and experience and the valuable lessons they've learned along the way. See, our goal today is not only to learn also about opening the floor to solutions and spark meaningful conversations within our community, but it's about really trying to get to the root of what we need to do to really plant the real seeds that really start to grow us and make us flourish in new directions. Taking on the change of the world and the ways that things are changing with technology and all of that, how can we further apply it to what we do within our community itself? So without further ado, let's go ahead, we're gonna dive right in. Give it one more time, give a round of applause to your special guest. All right, for those of you who don't know, first and foremost, we have Eclipse Darkness. Eclipse is a seasoned professional. He's very versed in the music, sync licensing, and creative force behind Oh, I Like That music. Want to hit it one time?
I like that.
Which is a leading music licensing company. So artists, this is who you need to know, all right? Eclipse has a keen eye for pairing music with visuals that help artists unlock new revenue streams by getting their music placed in film, TV, and other media. All right, make some noise for Eclipse.
All right, next we got joining us is Kiki.
Kiki J is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. True legend.
She's a true legend, and she's a does in the radio and on-air personality, content producer, podcaster, published author. She got a long list of things that she's done, and we love that. And from there, she's a music lover, and her legacy of tastemaker in radio is like really unmatched. She's been on point for years.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing changed, So we appreciate you for being here.
Stable. Make some noise for PJ. Next to my right, we got my boy, Space Boy Fresh, on air radio talent for 97.9 FM, a talented hip hop artist in the building. Yes, sir. Beyond the airwaves, Space Boy dedicated his time to teaching young artists throughout non-profits like Let the Beat Build Me and Big Dot. Shout outs to that. Shout out to his community service and the things that he's doing to also further teaching the youth. And he's leaving a lasting impact on the future. All right?
Then, of course, we got my guy over here, John the Joker. This man is a co-creator and host and owner of the popular media platform Real Life Street Stars. Through his platform, John brings raw, real stories from the streets to the mainstream. He's providing a voice for the often unheard and reshaping the narrative around the Dallas urban music scene as well, too. And we appreciate him for everything he does.
And finally, we got the skeleton sitting to the left. Mr. J. Cruz is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
On-air personality at K104 FM with DD in the morning. TV personality on CW33. Still doing that? Yes, sir. Known for his infectious energy and dedication to community activism. J. Cruz uses his platform to engage and uplift the DFW community in very powerful ways. So this is your panelists today, ladies and gentlemen. Please give a round of applause.
Two-time Emmy nominated as well.
Hold on, say that one more time for the mic.
Two-time Emmy nominated. The second time is coming up. I think we're going to win this year, so it might be a winner.
Two-time Emmy nominated for the ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise. Big cruising, baby. All right, so let's go ahead and kick this thing off. By diving into what it really takes to make it in this industry. You see, success in this industry, success in music often feels like an elusive dream. But our panelists have made it happen in multiple different ways. So as we start to explore their journey and skills and strategies that carried them and the defining moments that brought them here to where they are today, let's uncover some essential insights that can help guide anyone who's aiming to build a lasting career in the music industry. Right there? So, we got a list of very powerful questions that we want to get your insight and knowledge on. We're gonna roll right into it. The first thing we want to know is, what are some fundamental skills and qualities that aspiring artists and industry professionals should develop to sustain a long-term success?
Who would like to hit that? I think Space Boy can talk about that one. Yeah, let's jump it off there.
Something I see often is artists being super introverted. Though I get it, as artists we know like it's tough to, all we really want to do is express ourselves, but then you go into a room and you ain't shaking no hands, you ain't talking to nobody. So I think being more open and receptive to meeting people and getting out of your comfort zone is a major key that I think artists need, for longevity, for sure.
If there's anything I could share, I would definitely say, focusing on building real, authentic, long-term relationships. A lot of times we're out here, we're hungry, and we get the mentality of, I want it now, I need it now, right? But I'll share that a lot of the relationships that I have that have changed my life came from a long-term relationship. So, I would meet someone and it wasn't until maybe 3 years later that we actually made an impact, on the world, society, the industry, and made some real bread together, right? And then it continued on, thereafter. So, that's one thing I definitely want to say. for everybody to be mindful of, like, hey, let's focus on building real relationships authentically and think long term. And like Space Boy said, you know, make sure you're out here networking in order to do that and make that possible.
Yeah, and I'm just going to piggyback off of that just a little bit. It's just resilience, having a strong sense of who you are and sticking to it. Don't follow the fads. Like, if you're doing something and it's unique to you, keep doing it. Sometimes it just needs to have time, needs to catch up to you. So I would say be resilient and be just like locked in on your vision, and don't try to chase the fads, because you'll end up chasing fads and never really succeeding at any one thing. So just stay true to you.
Real life street stars.
Yay!
You already know what it is. I want to say, for us, it was based on what Kiki's saying, just staying consistent. If you hear the stories of the Vlad TVs, the Say Cheeses, probably even the academics, we didn't really start seeing like revenue or really changing the corner for about like 6 years. But we just stayed consistent. We just didn't quit. We didn't switch up. We didn't follow no one else. We just kept doing it, and it kept the same background. Yeah. People said, you should move out of Dallas, man, go somewhere else. But we stayed in Dallas. We just kept at it. And to me, if you see, and this is for all the artists out there, if you have one person listening to your Spotify playlist this week and 2 people listening to it next week, that's progress. 3 people, 10 people. It'll slowly grow. Sometimes it's a slow process, but just stick to it and stay consistent. Do not stop. Do not worry about that one hit you got and you feel it's a hit. Move to the next song. Move to the next album. That song will catch up later. We live in a time where all this music is timeless. So it might catch up 2 years from now based on something that happens in the world. So that's my advice.
Wanted to add to the introverted term that I said, because a lot of people ask me, well, I'm not a people person, so what do I do? Like, how do I, get somebody's attention? For me, on a day-to-day, like, if I get a compliment from somebody, don't tell me my shoes is dope. Don't tell me you like my shirt, because you about to get this work. Hey, well, I also do this then. If you like this about me, then you're going to love this. And immediately it's a connection, because we already got something in common, whatever it is, or vice versa. I'm complimenting people on a regular. I don't know about y'all, but if I see something, yo, that's fly. Oh, thanks, bro. Matter of fact, I do music. I got a radio show. You should check it out, and it's open from there. So,
I'll say everybody, great advice from everybody around the table. I'll keep it short. Art is art. You can do it as a hobby. You can do it forever. You can paint forever. You can rap forever. You can shoot videos. If you love to do it and you actually have a passion for doing it, nothing's in your way. If you're trying to be successful, make it a business and make money, you got to think differently with your product. First thing you need to figure out is people actually like your product. And that doesn't mean you pay people to play it. That doesn't mean you force people to listen to it or you fake buy views or whatever. I'm talking about organically, do people fuck with your product? Excuse me, I didn't mean to cuss. Do they? Like organically, I'm just talking about, because then as a business person and an artist, you see something you should be investing in. It's a hard pill to swallow as an artist to realize that you shouldn't be trying to sell your product.
That one, I really enjoyed all that. So here's the next question we got lined up for you guys. I'm thinking, how radio's obviously evolved, right? Like from radio, like a lot of people don't even really even listen to the radio, right? At times. But from there, like there's a music streaming, you know what I mean? Everyone wants to stream. Okay, it's on Spotify.
Did he just say that? Give me this microphone.
Go on.
Listen to me. Yes, sir. Artists still make more money off their music when it plays on the radio. They'll make shit off of streaming. True. Now, radio used to be your number 3 choices. TV, radio, whatever. Now there's a billion choices. It's one of your choices. It might not be your top 3, your top 5, but we still alive and we still kicking. Yeah. And the one difference between radio and every other platform of entertainment. Can anybody tell me what it is? No, not heard. Streaming, I mean, you can get heard online.
Radio and entertainment?
It's what? Say again?
It's free. F-R-E-E.
It's the only form of entertainment that is actually free. Radio waves are free. All you need is an antenna and device to pick up on it. It's absolutely free. Because you can say Pandora, YouTube, this. If you're not paying for internet, guess what you don't have? None of that. Right? So radio is always going to be around because it's free. We might not be as popular as we used to be, but we're still the shit.
My apologies, boss. Sorry. Please on the other side of my head. You know what I'm saying? I love that.
That's a great answer. I mean, like, hearing that actually from a radio person who actually has done it, who understands how the industry works. That a lot of us artists, what we do, we'll be like, oh man, if I'm not on this playlist, my song ain't gonna work. If I'm not on this, it's not gonna work. So for you to say that, you know what I mean? People need to hear those things. If we don't hear those conversations, then we're gonna be sitting there just thinking that if I'm not on a playlist, then my music's never gonna work.
No, that matters too. It's a different age. Back in the day, that wasn't a thing. That's a thing now. So
Right.
I'm just saying it all matters.
Right.
So how do you see the role of radio evolving in a digital age with these platforms that are, really starting to become very prominent in people's, ways of marketing and social media?
I can see your brain turning. You want to answer that? Oh, yeah, my phone.
Well, what Apple Music and Pandora and them don't got is a connection to the community. And that's what radio do have. Like, I started out in promo with 97.9 The Beat. I'm in the streets, I'm going to schools, I'm going everywhere, community events. The difference would allow people to remember who I am. For people to remember who I am. It was the connection with my face and the brand. So, me being a living testimony to like the community matters, that shows how much radio matters, because some of y'all probably met me just from just being out and about, and that's the difference, you know what I'm saying? You don't know nobody from Pandora or Apple Music that's about to be sitting right in front of you or somewhere else. So that's always, community that's the unity, that's how we coming up together.
The question was, how does radio compete in today's day and age? How do radio stay relevant with all the streaming platforms? How do you feel, Space?
The community.
Yeah, he's got a point though, because
It's the
we can
community.
touch people like locally,
Yeah.
where, well, no Diddy, but you know what I mean.
The relevance is just that, period. Because each station is stationed in a city, a state. You got your certain radio stations. Yeah, that's it. I think, not it, but it's one of the biggest things that will allow the connection to forever be, worker competition is straight up just is what it is.
And I don't know if this actually answers the question, but I do want to, place it into the atmosphere here, is that, at the end of the day, artists can get streamed millions of times, thousands of times. They can, do all the things, but until they hear their song on the radio,
In the city that they in.
or anywhere, they just hear it on the radio. That's just like, everything to them. Artists that, we started with back 20 years ago, that we were breaking, I was breaking. They were already, they already had momentum. They already had, people that loved them. They had fans and whatnot. But it wasn't until they heard their song on the radio, so they were like, man, I knew I made it. So radio still is very important to artists as well. And I think even moving forward into, 2025 and beyond, that's still going to be something that artists do cherish. And listeners do too, because they can pull up the song anytime they want to, but when they hear it on Didi in the morning, okay, or they hear it on, Space Boy show, then, hey, that's a big, big damn deal, okay? So, yeah, radio is still going to be relevant even beyond. I hope I answered the question.
Both of y'all can answer this.
You want to argue?
Yeah, I want to. Just real quick.
Come on. What are you saying?
These cars now have Wi-Fi built in. These Tesla cars. What makes a person choose Wi-Fi,
Absolutely.
streaming, or radio?
Great question. And they even trying to pass a bill where they're making it mandatory to keep AM and FM radios in cars, because a lot of people wanted to get rid of that. But again, during an emergency, like a disaster, like a natural disaster, you're gonna be glad you got that fucking radio.
You know,
So let's forget your money and your success. And
When
the comments, when you're tired and about to wipe out half of humanity, you know what you're gonna go to? Cruise. You on the radio?
turning that down.
I like it.
All jokes aside, it has to change. We have to adjust. We have to maintain, right? Everything changes, guys. So radio has to change too. We have to do things differently. Now the core of it's going to stay the same. So for us to survive this new age of technology, again, we're part of the choices that you have. We're not going anywhere. We'll adjust. We rock with podcasts now. We got our own, so we're changing too. Apps. You can ask Alexa. You can say Alexa, put on 97.9 or put on K104, right? And Alexa will put it on. That's good, Justin.
All right, let's switch. We've done deep into radio. We got a question that we need to ask one of our professionals with the music sync license.
Yeah. For the music sync licensing pros, what should artists know about getting their music license, and how can it benefit their careers actually? Eclipse, you know, you're
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's see, there's so much I can say when it comes to sync licensing, but it can definitely benefit your career tremendously, right? Because with us being artists, right, for me, my biggest thing was like I was always put in this box, right? They were like, okay, if you're gonna rap, you gotta rap. You can't be doing all this R&B or this rock or this pop or this EDM or this other stuff, right? But with production music and sync licensing, you can explore those other genres, right? So what I love about it is that you can pursue a mainstream, career trying to be the next, superstar, and at the same time still do production music, right? Because they're not seeing a face, right? They're just hearing when it comes to production music and syncing your music to film, TV, etc. So, I tell artists all the time, use it as leverage, right? You get your first big placement, you need to be celebrating that and use that as leverage towards getting brand partnerships and working with other companies, right? And so that's how I maneuvered my way into being a Sprite ambassador, Sprite artist, and, working with other brands and companies by using it as leverage. So it can definitely help your career. And what you do is you use that sync money and those royalties to invest in other, works and other products that you have. So that's mainly, how I use it. And what I would share with artists is with sync licensing, you can use that to build your own capital, be your own investor, and retain ownership of your intellectual property.
Real quick, at the end of the day, as artists, we just trying to do what we love and get paid, correct? Like, is that success to y'all too? Yeah. Because I swear that's for me. Like, I just want to do what I love every single day. So we got to learn these different avenues, you know what I'm saying? Radio ain't the last stop. I hear artists all the time, bro, put me on the show, put me on the radio. Like, bro, grind, fam. You got the internet, you got syncing, you got, it's so much out here, man. Just find your, and take it there, man. Because as long as you're getting paid, doing what you love, you success, you made it, you did it.
Space, you spoke earlier about, community. That's one of the biggest things the word that I keep hearing is community. My question to you is, how can Dallas artists best leverage their local scene and community to reach a wider, more global audience? What are some ways that, because I know artists, always, all the time are just trying to think, they feel like they're kind of limited on their reach sometimes, especially fighting the algorithm and everything. So what are some other ways that they can really leverage against the local scene to grow their, within the community and grow their audience wider? And that goes to anybody.
Bruh. So a lot of y'all don't know I'm an artist as well. The reason y'all don't know, because I don't flaunt it, I don't put it out there like that. At the top of this year, bro, I made $1,000 off an EP. Because I have, it's a little something. That's what we're looking for. We want to, pay the bills off what we doing. Bro, if you take the time to, what he say? If one person streaming 2 people the next month, next week, if you find those people and make them feel like they're a part of this journey and really, capitalize on their time. They're giving you time and listening to you. They're gonna follow you for life. So that's what I've been building, a brand. To tap into the community as an artist is detrimental to your longevity, because I tell OG Bobby Big this, my brother, bro, they scared to come outside. Hey, bro, you gotta get out here and not only, you ain't just necessarily gotta pass turkeys out the back of a U-Haul, but yeah, get out here and make these people remember you, because they're the ones gonna be listening to your music, coming to your shows. So you need to do the things that's gonna make them feel that they're a part of you, you're a part of them, and now this is a community. Not set yourself apart and you too high and mighty to be reached. No, sir. So you gotta get out there. You gotta give back. Got to.
Yeah, well, I do have something to say. One of the ways I think Dallas, sometimes you can be so close to like great things that you kind of ignore what is surrounding you. Like, Dallas is a major sports city, okay? We got the Rangers that just won the World Series last year. We got the Cowboys, even though they're not doing too well. No, okay. We got the Mavericks. We got the Mavericks. Y'all know, we got all the teams here. So, listen, when I first started doing a local show on K104, people just wanted to get, like I said, they just wanted to get their music heard on the radio. But I was always like, hey, why don't you think bigger? Why don't you think outside the box? The Mavericks are here, the Rangers are here. Like, why don't y'all make songs for them? Why don't you make songs for individual athletes? Why don't you make songs for, I don't know, like jingles? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you make songs for these sports out here? Because sports brings in big money to this city. So why don't you get a piece of it? Like, what are y'all doing? So it always baffled me why that was never a thing. And then it's just now starting to happen. I saw Bobby Sessions did his thing with the Cowboys this season, and DeRoe has done some stuff with the Cowboys, and there's probably others that I'm missing, so just charge it to my head and I'm hard. But, I just think that there is a way that you can, get with these sports people, maybe even individual athletes, because them athletes be wanting to rap too, okay? Even though they balling, they want to get into the studio. So, find those people, find those places, knock on those marketing doors, go up to those marketing agencies and knock on their door and have something ready for them, because they always looking for something new when the season starts. The Mavs about to start, so hey, maybe you should go home and do a jingle for them tonight.
Speak.
That's good. Good stuff. Now, what I'll say is this. I'm gonna say two things. A situation where Jay Cruz, he knows this because he was part of it. I remember Mo3 and Yella Beezy were doing their thing, and Jay Cruz was going back and forth with Vita Loca, and they were talking about Jay Cruz has advised you go to the club scenes, they know all of Mo3 songs, they know it word for word, and that says something. So when you see something to where Mo3, when he comes through Real Life Street Stars, he taps in with Say Cheese. He starts moving in his community to mess with everybody. So this is for all the artists here tonight. What you kind of want to do is you do want to start with, before you go to a J. Cruz, a space and say, can I get on the radio? Can I hear my song at 5 o'clock? You kind of want to start with your local engineers. I see Bud Beast in the building somewhere. Shout out Bud. You want to start with your local engineers. Tap in with every studio that you know is hot in Dallas. At least the studios know your name. Holler at the couple of videographers, photographers, just the ones that's making noise and the ones that's coming up that you see you like their work. Tap in with them. Work with some of the other artists that you feel is making noise, and then you kind of start having your name is buzzing within the city. The people who's in the circles, they start hearing about you. I remember Big X the Plug. If y'all go to Real Life Street Stars, we did his first interview. That's only because Half Pint Films did a, what they call it, the music review. He won, Half Pint shot him a video. We liked it. Hey, come on, do a mic drop, do an interview, and then you see where Big X the Plug is now. He just tapped in with the local markets to kind of get his name where the people who are kind of around are speaking their name. Like, oh, you know him too. So that's my advice to any up and coming artists.
The responsibility of getting your music out there is yours. if you're too shy or too hard to talk to people, like, it's your art. You don't want to perform for people? Like, I don't understand. Like, why do you make the music? So you can keep it to yourself? Or I'm confused. And again, if you're trying to be an artist in a business, you gotta think like a business. You can't just be like, no, I'm just gonna record music and post videos on YouTube, and I don't ever want to perform on stage. You gotta figure all that out. The responsibility of getting music out there is yours. So, all great ideas. There is no bad idea when it comes to getting your name out there. Do anything and everything. Don't lose your integrity, but do anything. Like, hey, is this a good idea? Hell yeah, that's a good idea. Should I do this? Hell yeah, you should do that. Why? Because not enough people know you. And again, during the journey as a business person, figure out if your product is something people want. Because sometimes our egos get in the way. You love it. Your group of friends love it. But do enough people like it that you should be making a business out of it? Investing your last hard-earned money into something, a product that people don't want. If you put out a t-shirt and it doesn't sell, are you going to print up another 30,000? Think about it like that.
Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. Are y'all getting some valuable insight and information thus far? Yeah?
All right, y'all. And as we look around today, we can see that the music industry is evolving at a rapid pace. From digital platforms to AI, new technology is reshaping how music is created, shared, and even discovered. Our new set of questions will explore the impact of these tools and how the creative process and how artists can harness the power of technology to reach wider audiences without losing their unique voices. So let's start out. Maxie, this is for you, Joker, actually. How do you approach integrating new technology without losing the authenticity and core of your music or the brand?
It's done.
This, of course, I do a podcast, so I used to have a recording studio as well, but you have to become a student of the game. YouTube University is your best friend as new technologies come out. Just become a student of the game. Just learn the basic level. And let me make it easy for you guys. Any new technology, go to YouTube, type it in, how to, or first video review, find the shortest video just to pique your interest, because nobody has all day, but just learn something about it. Watch a 3-minute video. At least you have more knowledge about whatever that is. New camera, new microphone, new preset. If you're a photographer, do some new edits. Just find a short video and use that to your advantage.
What else like piggyback on that?
Yeah, that's a huge concern in the film and music industry, right? I just recently joined the Recording Academy, and so that's something that we talk about. I advocate a lot for composers, songwriters, and artists, right? And so that's a conversation that we're having now, that we want to keep AI out when it comes to the creative side, right? So I will share as an artist, you definitely want to stay away from AI when it comes to the creative side and figure out a way to use it as a tool for your operations and systems side, right? And I say that because I'm on the inside and dealing with editors and music supervisors who place the music in these big films and trailers and shows. They can tell, right? And they're the biggest advocates for like authentic, real music and original artistry. So I'll give you, heads up now, like they're gonna be able to tell, and that stuff isn't winning. They talk down on any music created, with AI, even when it comes to like the tracks or songs and things like that. But yeah, so I'll say that right now on the creative side, try to stay away from that as much as possible. Dealing with the networks and directors and supervisors I deal with on the daily, they're like, nah, we not for that. But do figure out a way how to use it to help your operations, right, and to get more things done, like a tool for delegation. That's how I use it, because I have to do admin, metadata, all these other things, in addition to creating the artwork that actually gets it in front of my core audience and clients, and being able to sell it, as a product to who actually wants it and who's looking for it, like Jay Cruz was talking about. So figure out a way to do that to save yourself some time, right? Because if you can utilize AI to save yourself some time, then you'll end up making more money, and then you use that money to buy yourself more time.
Let me ask you this question. Do you feel that, and this kind of goes to the DJs as well, do you feel that there are any specific tools that you could recommend to artists and creatives that they should use to focus on getting, noticed in today's digital noise? It's a crowded space. Is there any tools specifically that you think that will be more advantageous in really helping them cultivate that audience and build their brand and people who are tuned in?
I'll just be transparent and honest and say that the tools are the ones that you use every day on your phone, right? Those platforms as far as Facebook, Instagram, etc. So before I started doing music full time, I was working for a company, Texas 811, and I was running their social media, and I was running ads in order to build this $1 million company. They're already making millions of dollars, and yet they're hiring me to still, run ads and spend money on their marketing on social media. So visibility is key. So I will say utilize those tools, running ads on Instagram, Facebook, and if you have a product that you can, sell, right, then you're gonna see some conversions, right, and start making money back on your investment. But Instagram, Facebook, that's what I utilize to run ads to get, my brand out there and my product.
Yeah, I would say some specific tools on the internet side of things. Video editing is Adobe Premiere is what I use to edit interviews. Adobe Audition for sound. And y'all see them Jaguar Wright clips going viral and she's yelling. Video AI is what I use for those clips. Very simple. Make $1 million.
I was just gonna say, to the podcasters, the bloggers and stuff, like CapCut, man.
That's my favorite.
Hey, the desktop CapCut, you put it on your laptop, bro. You could be talking for like an hour, 45 minutes. Throw it into it's the same thing. It's on Premiere too, but you throw it in there and it'll break up all your videos. So I definitely would say, man, utilize that, because now we're looking at, all right, what am I gonna post today? And instead of thinking that, you already got hella stuff that you can post if you ain't got nothing scheduled. It's like, all right, boom, boom. And there's also a platform where you can schedule your stuff too. Schedule the ones that they break up. So I would say look into those.
Is the other one called Opus?
Opus does it. Opus will schedule and cut and create them for you. I like InShot as well. I had InShot for a while, but I prefer InShot, CapCut for phones, but I'm gonna have to download it on my laptop as well.
Yeah.
Now let's shift and I want to focus on something close to home. Dallas and its unique music scene. Dallas has always had a distinct sound and community, yet local artists often face challenges that they find it very hard to overcome. So in this next section, we'll discuss real quick how artists can maximize their reach here and build vital connections. My first question to you guys is, what makes the Dallas music scene unique compared to other cities, and what can be done to strengthen its impact on the rest of the world?
I don't think it is unique. And I mean it like this. I don't think any place is unique anymore. Back in the day, it mattered if you was West Coast, East Coast, whatever side you was from. New York ran it for a while, then the South was running it. Whatever. We live in an age where it doesn't matter where you're from. I honestly believe that. Either your shit is hitting, and it's hitting enough people, or it's not. And it can be from Jeezy type music to Kendrick Lamar. It doesn't matter what the topic or the content is. What matters is it popular enough to invest in? Because again, we're talking about business. And music is the product, but it's business. It's not about what you love or your passion. passion, and which are all great things. I think you should have passion if you're an artist, but it's the business of it. So I just you have to stop taking it personal and start thinking like a business person when it comes to your music. It'll take you a long way, and take your feelings out of it. Just take your feelings out of it. You can see it for yourself if your shit is organically buzzing or if it's working. Nobody needs to tell you that. And people who believe that it's all money, if it was all about money, every rich kid with tons of dough or every dope boy who's got shitload of cash would be all over your radar. But you can't force music on people. You can't buy fans. You can't. I'm telling you right now, you might be like, Cruz, you wrong. Okay, cool. In the long run, you can't buy it. You have to earn them, and they have to be real. You can fake everything. You know what you can't fake? Real fans spending $20 at the door to see you perform at a venue. Can't fake that? You can fake comments, numbers, charts, all that shit. You can't fake actual people coming to your show.
Not reverb. Can you say that? Repeat it again.
Yeah,
There's a part.
It's what makes Dallas music scene unique.
It was that. Yeah, no disrespect to me, it's not unique. It doesn't matter where you're from. That was my answer. Sorry.
What makes Dallas music scene unique compared to other cities, and what can be done to strengthen its impact? I do personally feel like there is something about still city presence and stuff that still resonates within the music scene, because when I am in New York, I hear people talk about Houston scene, Houston artists that are popular specifically in that music scene. When people talk about Dallas, they think about Mo3, but I know there's so many other really known, individuals that are here in this city, and I feel that it needs to be presented even more. It needs to be more community, I guess, shown towards the rest of the world, because they think about Houston. I feel like Houston has grown into a global, a new global presence, because it had it. But it's also where with the new artists that are rising out today, it is making a resurgence and drawing new energy back into the city. And I don't know if it's the city itself because of the community and culture, or is it the artist that's bringing the presence to the city? So that's just from my presence, from the outside, hearing outside voices looking in. So I do feel like, I do agree with you, Cruz. It don't matter as an artist. You can still go out, you can build your audience and fan base and be presently known. But I still feel like there's something that can be done, to strengthen our uniqueness and exposure to the rest of the market.
I think it goes back to what Space Boy was saying is about community. Because one thing is when you go to Houston or you go to New Orleans, like those artists are out in the community, they're doing events, they're showing up for voter registration drives, they're showing up for all these things, and they've connected with city officials, they've connected with community leaders, they've connected with all these people. So it's like once you have a relationship with somebody, then they're not scared to ask you to come to the school or come, perform here or come do that. And I think that that's what Houston has been able to do. Like when you go to Houston and the rodeo is happening, like they got all kinds of sayings, like all the lyrics of rap songs are on the banners as you go downtown. Like the city has embraced the hip hop culture there. And I think that's come from the relationships that the artists have made with city officials, with community leaders, with, businesses within the community. I mean, Mattress Mac, he's famous because, all the rappers was going to Mattress Mac and they was doing songs for him and all kinds of stuff. So like, that community, I think, is a big key, and that's kind of what we're missing, is that our artists are not really locked in with the people in the community.
That was the point I had. I wrote it down, and you said
yeah,
it.
I'm sorry, I piggyback, but I had to just bring it back around because I feel like that's what maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, to Cruz's point of it not being necessarily a sound, I think that's a wide open door for us all. If there's not no specific sound, then that means it's a wide variety of artists here, as we all know, and anybody can take it there if you really serious. So win your neighborhood over. You know what I'm saying? How you expect? Because a lot of Dallas artists, what I realized, are so in a rush to be over elsewhere. They so in a rush that they ain't even realizing that your own people ain't got your back, and this where you need to have them, especially when we from Dallas, Texas, bro. Man, we got this big ass state that we really could just tour, and that's it. Yeah. Look at the big tuck. Look at the bro. Ain't them folk did it, and they ain't gotta work another job. And that's what I'm saying. When we talking success, we want to be able to pay them bills, man, and do what we love. So win your hood over. Win your hood over.
Cruz, I kind of want to double back on that and ask you specifically. As far as the community go and artists, getting that exposure and that support from the community, we talking a lot about community and going out into the community and connecting with the community. But what about the community? Especially if it's not about the music, I guess it's subjective, right? But what about community supporting back? How do we engage and get the community to support back the artists that are going out here and trying to connect with the community, trying to do these things? How do we get more community to the spaces that we're trying to cultivate and bring them in further?
How do you get community to come to you?
Not necessarily community. How do you, because let's keep it real, a lot of people support. A lot of people know that you do, we know so-and-so do music and stuff like that. Oh, he's doing this thing, okay, so. And the community knows we need, as artists, the artists need support to take their, brand recognition and everything and stuff to the next level. But sometimes getting that community, they'll support you. Yeah, I saw you doing your thing. Yeah, but I need you out here, you know what I mean? And then you can be good. But getting that community, how do we get more community to show up and support our artists that are out there showing the community we're here to show you what we're trying to do and engage with you?
I'll say it like this. So whatever kind of music you make, you gotta know your target audience. I'll say it like that. So whatever stuff you're doing in the community, like if you're a dope boy rapper, right? You know what I'm saying? Go to the rec centers in the hood and get back, right? You gotta make sense. If you make more pop music, go to pop appropriate places. So I always say, you're like soulful, they're like a jazz club. You gotta know your audience. So if you're gonna give back, you're trying to connect with the community, with your audience, know who you are.
And also, if you have a passion outside of music, like if you're passionate about kids, or you're passionate about, art, or you're passionate about sneakers, like whatever else your passion is, because I know you're not just creative in one thing. Most artists are not. They're creative in many things. So find something else and go in that direction, you know what I'm saying? And network with people in that vein. If you're an artist, then go to the museums, network with people in that community. And then, you said, oh, by the way, I do music. It just all come back. It's all coming back to you, Space. But go outside of the realm of your music and find other interests that you have, and then build with those people that have those same interests.
And I don't mean to sound mean. If you try and try and try and try and try and try and try, and it never works, people don't like it. Yeah. And that's a hard pill to swallow, but as a business person, you better come to that conclusion, or you're not a good business person. Switch up your product. I'm not saying give up. Maybe switch it up, do something different, try something different. Because whatever you're trying, it like Cass be killing me. Cruz, I've been doing 15 years, it ain't working.
15 years. Let me tell you something. If you can kill a hook, but you can't write no verses, just do hooks. Look, Nate Dogg did a whole career off of just hooks.
You ain't lying.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever that is, for real. If you can write, just be the songwriter, okay? Because songwriters make bread, okay? So
they're not famous, but they
make bread, and they can walk outside their house. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have to worry about not having no privacy. But find your niche. It might not be rapping. A lot of times I've seen artists where they start off rapping, but then they go into doing something else. Like you, right? Didn't you start off rapping?
Rapping and did something else.
I'm just saying, right?
True.
Like a rapper.
Hey.
Cruz ain't shit.
I started off rapping, and like Cruz said, 12 years, it ain't working. Switch it up. I found something else. Now, what I will say is that Dallas does have a unique culture. We have the boogie culture. I know people want to bring the boogie back. We killed our own culture with that. It is what it is. We moved on. But for the artists that are out here now trying to, of course, make themselves hot, and make their community hot, and pass out turkeys and do all that, and your community's not messing with you. I look at it like this, man. And Cruz, maybe we go back and forth, but I agree with him in the sense that Dallas is a top 5 market, but I think that's a top 5 market to produce artists. We're more of a consumer city. We consume from everywhere. So I would say you need to be traveled at least. You cannot. To me, it's a little hard to make it in Dallas. And the radio people can speak to this. It's hard to make it in Dallas and you ain't been nowhere and you ain't getting nothing outside of your neighborhood. I think, yes, you got to get your mama's love, your sisters and brothers' love, some of the people on the block, but then you got to start expanding because your high school is going to be the first one to hate on you, and no one will support you. Your local college is not going to mess with you. You can hand out, B. King did it forever. And dang, it took him to kind of move around to kind of make it. So do feel free to travel to your local Memphis, your local Atlanta, your local Houston, and get your name out there as well. Mess with some people, mess with those radio stations. Then come back to Dallas. Keep a videographer with you too to record it all. Come back to Dallas and turn yourself up.
You'll get all the love whenever you come back.
Yeah, that's exactly somewhat of what I was going to say, because I was born and raised here, did my thing here. I had to leave, explore the world, and I came back. And now I'm, building a community with other Dallas composers, artists, trying to put them on game, what I've learned outside everywhere else. And going back to J.CATALYST, what he was saying in the question, when it comes to support, you really want to make sure you know what support looks like to you, right? So you can effectively communicate that to whomever you're trying to get support from. A lot of times, I talk to artists and people and they don't know what they want, or they don't know what support looks like or what their goal is. So take the time, like Jay Cruz is saying, you are a business, to make sure you have structure, understand what your goals are, write out a plan, right? Know how you're going to generate income. Figure out how you want to go about obtaining capital, right? So make sure you know exactly what you want so you can ask for it effectively and get that investment from the community or from an investor, right? And everybody said a lot of great things, and it's all about knowing exactly who your audience is. Me doing sync licensing, I make music for brands. I don't make music for the radio or to sell out shows and things like that, but I still get music on the radio, right? You getting that Sprite money? Yes, sir. I'm a Sprite artist. Sprite. We just dropped the commercial. Just dropped the Sprite commercial. Y'all follow me on the official Eclipse on IG. You can see that. You know what I'm saying? So we're working on other commercials with other brands. But yeah, I will say, if that's your thing, make music for brands. Right, if that's what you want to do, it's a lot of money in that. It's a bag. Like Kiki J was saying, we got a new team, Dallas Trinity FC, women's soccer team. You know what I did? I reached out to them and created their theme song. Now we're negotiating the price right now on what I want to charge them for it. They tested it out this past weekend at the Cotton Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I knew what I wanted. I know my audience. I make music for brands. I'm aware of what's going on in the community. Now I can get their support. Right, so just know who your audience is, like Jay Cruz, everybody's saying, and come up with a plan and then attack and execute. Take action. A lot of times we sit on stuff and sit out on ideas, but that's what I see the most. People don't take action because I give people opportunity all the time. Here's my number. Here's my email. Shoot me stuff. I can get you placed in these shows and movies, but they don't send nothing.
All right, we got 2 questions left, and these are 2 very important questions, and we're just gonna dive right into them. So, in recent years, we've seen a lot of artists lose their lives to violence, incarceration, and very dangerous lifestyles, as we know. It's an urgent issue, and we really want to get to the root of that. My question to the entire panel here is, with the ongoing issue of hip-hop artists facing incarceration and violence, do you feel the messages in hip-hop culture need to shift to create a safer environment for artists and fans alike? Or do you feel that the message is fun, it is something more? And if so, what can we do to create a more safer environment and how can we shift that actually happen?
The answer is within the question, because absolutely, I know. I do little music reviews on 97 on the IG Live when I'm on. And if a person get on, I let them know. If you talking about shooting somebody or spinning on your op, I'm gonna give you a 0. I'm not about that, because I'm not here to oppress us. I'm not here to keep us down. And we as artists need to understand the importance of lifting up our community. You got to, man. We sleep on that right now.
So, obviously, I'm all for community and peace and the violence is ridiculous, but at the end of the day, for me, that's a whole, society issue, right? Violence, where we come from, our neighborhoods. I, on one hand, don't feel like music has a responsibility to anyone. Okay. The gangster rap has its place. Mm-hmm. People from, they grow up like that and end up making music, they're allowed to make that kind of art. That's like telling an artist how to paint. Mm-hmm. It's not fair. Mm-hmm. So no, you can't rap about that. You can't be raunchy. You can't be violent. Mm-hmm. I can be anything I want to. It's my art. Right? I also don't feel like they have to be role models either. Mm-hmm. They're not. They're artists, right? Yes, in America it sucks because do I feel like the incarceration, the labels, the putting out messages that kept us in and out of jail and all that conspiracy? Yeah, I do feel like some of it is very real and for sure. But I also feel that you've had some of the biggest artists in the world are the opposite of that. Drake, Kanye West, those two right there. Two of the biggest ever aren't dope boy rappers. Yeah. So yes, violence is part of it because it's part of the neighborhoods that they come from. That's not going away anytime soon unless you're doing away with poverty. Yes, we need to focus on pushing more community and all that. But I just feel like it all has its place. Okay. Even the violent, the raunchy, it all has its place.
One last question following that. Did anybody else have anything that they wanted to touch on that? Or are we good?
Hey, that's exactly, love you, bro, but that's exactly what keeps us in place. That's exactly what keeps us on the treadmill, is the idea of there's a place for it. I come from the slums. I used to gang bang and do all that too, and I understand that that's not all there is, bro. So I just advise, man, y'all gotta get your mind right, bro. Straight up.
Well, I grew up in the era of gangster rap, you know what I'm saying? Raunchiness, 2 Live Crew, all that, you know what I'm saying? And I turned out pretty good. But I think we have to also, I don't think it's an artist's responsibility. I really don't. I kind of more agree with Cruz that it's their art and they should be able to express themselves however they feel. I think that responsibility lies on parents. I think that responsibility lies on, what you having your kids listen to on the way to school. We need to employ people to be parents to their children. To be parents to your children. If you say if you see your homeboys and your homegirls not being a parent to your children, you need to call them out. For real, that's not even cool. It's not cool to be having your 5-year-old listening to, gangsta whatever or pop that pussy whatever, you know what I'm saying, on the way to school. And I know radio plays, I know what radio plays, but listen, that's your choice. You have a choice to put on what you want to put on. And it's only 15 minutes. You can only take it to school for 15 minutes, you know what I'm saying? So, it's crazy to me that you have to listen to that on their way to school or the way to pick them up. So, I think, and then there's also plenty of music that is positive. I listen to a lot of Cleo Soul, and I listen to a lot of Tierra Jones. I listen to a lot of positive people too. So I would say, bring balance. I would love to be able to see some of those artists that are putting out affirmation albums and stuff like that. I'd like to see them get some more shine. So hopefully, Space Boy, you can find a platform for something like that, where we highlight some of those positive artists too and give them a platform.
All right.
And real quick, also, we have our Sweet Tea Vodka. Shout out to our sponsor as well too. Sweet Tea Vodka sponsored it. It's a black-owned spirit, so make sure y'all check it out as well. Okay.
All right. Yeah, just going to get that last question, and then we're going to turn to the audience and let them ask a couple of questions.
All right, y'all. So we got the last question. It's honestly probably one of the most important questions, and that's pretty much we're going to talk about. Behind all the glitz, the glam, us having fun. We love it. We're all artists, but one thing that we always put in the back of our mind is our mental health. And our mental health is extremely important. Me myself, I think about it like this. I'm a father. Besides being a father, I also am an artist. Besides being an artist, I work at 9 to 5. You know what I mean? So day to day, it's always a grind. So sometimes you get in your head, you get your feelings about everything that you're doing, and you forget to check on yourself and make sure that you're okay. And it goes from like friends, family, everything, because you're so infused in trying to be, I gotta be the best artist I gotta be, I gotta get this hit, I gotta do this. And while you're trying to do all those things, you're not thinking about the mental toll you're putting on yourself. So I feel like mental health is it's a very touchy subject, but it's a subject that we have to always approach. Because if you don't approach it, then we're gonna be sitting in a room, and before you know it, the person you were having a conversation with, they could be gone based off of that. You know what I mean? So when my first question is mental health, it has a significant challenge in the music industry, right? So when it comes to entertainment industry, how do you guys take care of your mental and your well-being on y'all day to day?
I would say first and foremost, you have to have a good support system. Whoever that is, you lean on, who doesn't technically worsen your day but better your day. Lean on that person heavy. And if you don't have a support system, whether parents, sisters, spouse, or whatever it is, take time to yourself. They say every person needs therapy. Go get it, but really just take the time to stop what you're doing and just process. A lot of people just kind of stay in and get frustrated with the day-to-day. It ain't working. Just take a moment. You don't got to go on vacation or whatever, but just maybe drive through downtown Dallas and just turn the radio off. It'll give you time just to think, and then after that, get back to it. But you always want to at least take time to pause yourself, especially if you feel you're at a breaking point. If you're at a breaking point, I promise you, play some whale music or something. I don't know, but stop what you're doing for a second and just do something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. For what I do, receiving briefs on the daily, constantly building the catalog, doing music every day 24/7, it can definitely take a toll on you. So what I do is I try to be conscious and be aware, and just make sure I know myself to where it's okay, hey, now I need, to take time out and take a break. And for me, it's as simply as just incorporating in my life, in my regular routine, doing yoga, right? Doing yoga with the wifey, sitting down and meditating. So incorporating, meditation and doing some yoga, that gives me time away, time to connect with myself and time to relax and allow my brain to be still. Because one thing about me, I'm a Virgo, and so I'm very meticulous. I'm very detailed. I like things to be great. So so I have to find time to slow down and rest my mind, since I'm always thinking. So those are ways that I handle mental health. And then plus I have a daughter. She is amazing, so she keeps me busy. And also spending time with her and homeschooling her takes me away from that strenuous work. So.
All right. So, one thing we gotta know for sure is that even the richest people go through shit. Yeah. And I've had the pleasure of seeing and being in both levels of the spectrum, both sides of the spectrum. And to that point, we just have to know, what we doing it for. Somebody was saying earlier, the most important thing as artists, I think that we have to keep in mind is that we doing this for therapy. We are creating our art to release. And how whatever you do after that is, it's all depending on you and your emotion and what you're doing. But ultimately, I'm creating music so that I won't go crazy. You know what I'm saying? so I don't go off on somebody or somebody else. Last but not least, smoke weed. Amen to that.
I would get a call like 3 o'clock in the morning, something happened at the station, I gotta go up there. You know, I did that for years, and it really did take a toll on me. I mean, even though I have days off or what have you, I was still in the mindset of working all the time. And I think that's probably why I retired last year. You know what I'm saying? Because after 20 years, I was kind of like, you know what? I just need to stop all of this. I need to stop all of this and get back to my family. Because for 20 years, they really hadn't seen me. I was, you know, busy working. So I really wanted to get back to them. And one of the things, because I now have more time, I began to kind of get overwhelmed with the amount of time that I do have now. And so in order to get things done, because, you know, you have everything to do on your to-do list, you want to do this and that. I'm sure you can relate of all the things that you have to do. And so I'm learning in real time right now how to like break up things in chunks, like take an hour and like go hard nonstop for like an hour and then, you know, fall back, you know what I'm saying, and chill for a little bit. And then maybe pick it up for another hour. Because a lot of times you can get really frustrated with yourself because you feel like you're not really getting anything done because you're here, there, or you're all over the place trying to do all of the things all at once. But you can really get things done if you just chop it down into little bitty bits and pieces. Even if it's just like an hour a day and an hour the next day or an hour, you know, every day throughout the week. Eventually by the end of the week, you'll have that task done. So don't feel bad about yourself or down about yourself about taking rest also. Because I was very much guilty. I felt very guilty whenever I would rest, whenever I would just chill. I would feel so guilty, like I could be doing this, that, and the other, but I'm sitting here watching this movie. No, you need to watch this movie. You need to sit down and chill. You know, so please don't ever be hard on yourself for taking that break.
I just want to add that the journey is the reward. The journey is what we doing, being here, meeting people, a show of 10, a show of 10,000. It's all a part of it. Like, so pat yourself on the back and continue to do something. Straight up. The journey is the reward.
We leave here today, let's carry forward the positive solution-oriented energy that we've created in this room. It's up to all of us, artists, industry professionals, and supporters, to uplift the community. Take care of our mental health and well-being and work towards a brighter future. I hope that you came here today inspired, and I hope that you leave even more inspired to go pour back into the community and bring them to these events that we're in here today. This is a first of its kind for us. So from what I've heard, it's more needed here in the community, and we were inspired to want to do this more. We want more of this.
Let's make it happen. Give us the mark. Let's make it happen.
So with that said, everyone that's in this room, we're relying on you when we set these going forward to please spread the word to the community and get them here so we can further grow these conversations. All right? Give it up to our guests. Give it up to our